Hey everyone, and welcome back to another great under $5 eShop deals video, where each and every week we look at the best games to pick up on the Nintendo Switch eShop, especially if you're on a budget. Now just as usual, I always give the quick reminder that I don't go over the deals that were mentioned in last week's video, just to keep things fresh. So if you want to make sure that you're not missing out on any great deals, I always suggested you check out that video that will be linked in my top pinned comment down below. Now also, just in case you missed Saturday's announcement, we are now giving away 2 $5 eShop gift cards in each and every video, meaning 4 cards per week. All you need to do to participate is drop a comment in either one of the videos and check out the next video to see if you won. You also, however, now have to be subscribed to the channel. If ever you want the full details, they're down below once again in the description of the video. So now, with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into the deals. Just don't forget that if you do like what you're seeing, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. So our first deal for today is finally going to be the return of Butcher on our lists. For a while, for some reason, this game was going on sale, but for only $4.99. However, I knew eventually it would get back to the point of being 80% off for only $1.99, and right now, this will be running till November 8th. Now, Butcher is a hardcore 2D action shooter, and I've said it pretty much every time I've presented this game. Just imagine yourself the whole Doom type scenario, but in a 2D platformer rather than a 3D one. And that will give you a rough idea of what to expect from Butcher. So a lot of pixelated goriness, but also a very high difficulty level. So be warned that before picking up this one, this is going to be a pretty challenging affair. But nonetheless, with this deal back at $2, it is once again an excellent pickup. Now next, we have the return of another excellent deal that I love mentioning, and that is Grizzland, that is back to 60% off, dropping the price to $1.99, and this will be running till November 12th. Now on the surface, this game really doesn't look like much, but trust me, there's a lot of fun gameplay here. Grizzland ultimately is a Metroidvania done with an art style that almost looks like it's pulled directly from the Atari. But although the art style is old, the gameplay style actually feels pretty fresh and pretty modern. And although the game is not all that long, at only $1.99, it is an awesome, really short action-adventure Metroidvania. Now next on the list, we have something special. This is a game that actually has a new permanent discount at $1.99, and I tried this game out just this week and was quite impressed, and that is Exception. Now this game can be best described as a 2.5D action platformer, where you play as a character that is involved in an almost Tron-like universe. But I was actually quite impressed with the gameplay you get at only $1.99. I mean, it is very, very addictive. There's a nice progression system in the game as well, where you get to select which abilities you want to upgrade in what order. And on top of it, it has a really original system where basically the worlds will shift around you, going from 3 to 2D on random aspects, and there are even bosses that can manipulate the environment as an attack form. Overall, a really surprising action platformer at a new low permanent price of $1.99. Now the next deal on our list is going to be Gonner, that is currently 80% off, knocking the price down to only $1.99. However, do act quick because at the moment of posting of this video, there's only about a day left on the deal. It is ending on November 4th. Now Gonner is basically a tough as nails 2D action platformer. On top of it, the levels are procedurally generated and there are roguelike elements to the gameplay. I think what attracts me most about Gonner is the really original art style that the game has to it, and the original concept of basically equipping different heads on each run, which will give you different abilities. And obviously in regular roguelite form, as you progress through the game, you'll acquire more and more of these different abilities to give you a better chance at your future runs. Overall, if you're a fan of straightforward 2D roguelite, this is a definite one to try out, especially at only $1.99. Now, our next deal is another new game that I finally tried for this week that I had my eye on for quite a while, and that is Hopiko, that is now 80% off, dropping the price to only $1.99, and will have the deal running till November 11th. Now, Hopiko is a very special platformer where in reality you only have one action, all you can do is jump. However, you can do it in a variety of different ways. A quick instant jump that will send you in one direction, or one that you can actually angle with your analog stick. What is really original about this game is you actually have to complete one whole section on one only life. If you do not, you have to restart from the beginning stage of that section. And although that might feel repetitive, with all the stages being pretty quick, it actually makes you find even better ways of approaching each and every design. Ultimately, it's like a game based on the speedrun concept. Now, our next great deal is another game that I had my eye on for quite a while and I finally got to try this week, and that is Lichtspeer, that is 80% off, dropping the price to only $1.99, and this will be running till November 8th. Now, this game has a really original setup where you're handed a magical spear by a Germanic deity. And basically, after that, you have to face off against wave after wave of enemies that are running right at you that you have to basically knock down with your spear. If you want a quick reference point, I would say imagine Angry Bird-like mechanics, but with very fast-paced and difficult gameplay. Not only that, but there are a few very interesting and diverse boss fights. So overall, if you want something really challenging and original for this week, Lichtspeer is a great pickup. Now for our next deal, I know I've said it often, but Figment is back on sale and yet again at a lowest ever price, knocking I think another 10 or 20 cents off of its price at 89% off for $2.19. And this time it will be running till November 22nd. Now, Figment is an absolutely beautiful top-down action-adventure game. As every time I present this game, I mention it does feel slightly like a Zelda-like formula. But obviously, Figment has its own original presentation and a really enticing storyline where you're basically playing through a person's mind. Overall, this is just a great game that I would even say is worth its full price of $20. So right now, when you're getting it at an even lower price of $2.19, it is an amazing pickup at this price. So now it's time to take a quick break and announce today's winners of the $5 eShop gift cards. And our first winner for today will be Ray Rogers, who said the Sizzle reel of deals were pretty good this week, lots of Halloween-based games also. And Ray, I'm really glad that you enjoyed the Sizzle reel. It's something I'm super happy to now include in the videos. And now our second winner for today will be Buster Wolf 2012, who said, another awesome video, bro. I look forward to your videos every week. My wallet thanks you as well. Well, I'm really glad you look forward to the videos, Buster Wolf. And you know what? Most people say their wallets hate my videos. So I'm glad some people it's the opposite. So all both of you need to do is reach out to me in my pinned comment down below and I'll give you instructions on how you can get your $5 eShop gift card. So now, jumping back into the deals, we have another great one that is new to the series with Stick It to the Man that is 80% off, dropping the price to only $2.39 and will be running till November 14th. Now this is actually a game that was suggested to me by a viewer just recently. It is done by the same company that made Flipping Death in the same kind of art style. And you know what? I fell completely in love with this game. It is basically a platform puzzler where you play a character who has been given the power to read people's minds through a huge glowing pink arm coming out of his head. Just as in Flipping Death, you'll have to basically go through the world and solve the various people's problems by reading their thoughts and then finding the hidden stickers. But once again, this is a platformer where the centerpiece is definitely the art style and the amazing humor throughout the whole storyline. If you want something a little bit out there and different for this week, definitely give this game a try at only $2.39. Now our next great deal is going to be 80s Overdrive that is back to 70% off, dropping the price to only $2.99. However, this one is another one of those deals that you'll have to act quick because it's ending pretty soon on November 5th. Now, 80s Overdrive brings us back to the time in the 80s and 90s where 3D racers were actually a fake perspective behind the car. Now, although the concept is simple, the gameplay can be very fun and very addictive. Now, I know some people out there will say that this is not the best version of this type of racing game that we have on the Switch, and you know what? I agree with them. However, I do find nonetheless, when you pick this one up at 70% off for only $3, it is a really good investment for a few hours of fun. Overall, if you want a really awesome nostalgia trip, I would say definitely pick this one up for this week. Now, our next deal on the list was a game that was so good I even included it on the weekend video, and that is the Amnesia Collection that is 90% off for $2.99. However, this one, once again, you'll have to act very quick. There'll only be about 12 hours left as of posting this video because it ends on November 4th. Now, the Amnesia Collection is a collection of 3 horror games, and yes, they are more in a walking simulator type of gameplay. However, if you want my honest opinion, this collection is probably one of the game collections that has the best chance of actually giving you a real jump scare. Now, I do mention, however, every time that a couple of the games in this pack are starting to be quite dated, and that is a little bit apparent in the gameplay. However, nonetheless, anyone into the horror genre, when you can get all 3 of these games for only $3, it is a truly amazing value. Now, our next great deal for today will be Donut County at its lowest ever price of 70% off for only $3.79. However, just as the Amnesia Collection, this one is running out in about 12 hours as of posting this video, so do act quick before November 4th. Now, this game is a story-based physics puzzle game where you play as a hole in the ground that is ever growing as it absorbs different elements. It is more of a laid-back puzzler where the point is to try to find out what you need to suck up first to actually make it to be the size to be able to clear the screen. Once again, a very simple concept, but done in a very fun way. And I personally love this game as a laid-back puzzler to play from time to time. And getting it at only $3.79, in my opinion, is a great pickup for any fan of puzzle games. Now, our next game is yet another new entry to the series, and that is Bridge Constructor: The Walking Dead, that is currently 60% off, dropping the price to only $3.99 and will be running till November 14th. On top of it, this game will be my pick of the week. Now, at its heart, obviously, this game is a strategy-based bridge builder. However, what I really wasn't expecting trying this game over the last couple of weeks is how well the whole Walking Dead storyline ties in. Introducing basically a lot of the characters you know from the series, all with individual abilities that really affects the overall gameplay. Now, this is definitely a game that even at its full price of $10, I would have said would be an amazing pickup for anyone who's a fan of strategy games. So when you can get it like today at 60% off for $3.99, this is really an amazing pickup. Now, the next deal on our list will be the King's Bird that is now 75% off for $4.99 and will be running all the way to November 11th. Fair warning, this is a difficult precision platformer. However, it is a precision platformer with a very original design, combining that precision platforming with amazing gliding mechanics. And for once, this game's description actually fits it perfectly. Flight, flow, and freedom are 3 things that you will very much experience throughout this gameplay. Not only that, but the beautiful art style in the backgrounds of all the levels really had me enticed to keep going from level to level, even though the game became more and more challenging. So if you're looking for a different platforming challenge, this is a great pickup for this week. Now, our next deal for today is probably the one that took me the most by surprise for this week, and that is Yono and the Celestial Elephants. That is now 75% off, dropping the price to $4.99. Yet again, however, you will have to act quick, about 12 hours left on the deal ending on November 4th. Now, when I looked at the gameplay of this game, I was expecting this to be a game only for children. However, I was very surprised that no, the themes in the gameplay are actually very adult-oriented. And basically, what you're getting from this game is a light Zelda-like adventure, where yes, the combat might not be very evolved, the puzzles might be a little bit simpler, but nonetheless, the sense of adventure and exploration is all present. And for someone who just wants a 4 to 5 hour quick Zelda-like adventure, you know what? At $4.99, Yono and the Celestial Elephants can be a great pickup for that type of player. So overall, a game that I was really happy to take a chance on for this week. And now it's time for today's Sizzle Reel of Deals. So there we have it. That is our list of the under $5 eShop deals for this week. As usual, you can always let me know what games you'll be picking up for this week in the comments down below. I also want to take a couple of seconds to really thank the channel supporters. They help the channel grow in a huge way, and I'm so thankful to have them. And if you want any more information, you can always check out the membership information, once again in the description of the video. And just on the way out, don't forget that if you did like what you saw, consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel if you aren't already, and hitting that notification bell so you know when all my future videos come out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.